So what should you do in doubles if you're the net player and your opponents just continue to avoid you and hit the ball around you and past you over and over and over again? That's what we're going to talk about today. My name is Ian, and thank you for joining me on this episode of Ask Ian. I'm the head pro here at EssentialTennis.com, and today we're going to answer a question from Josh Hunt, who wrote in and said, I'm a decent net player, and it seems that when I play doubles, they usually just hit it away from me. I'm wondering if I would be more useful to the team if I moved back to the baseline. I don't get many balls at the net. Okay, Josh, you should move back to the baseline to help your team out if you enjoy winning using defensive tactics. The further and further you move away from the net, the more inherently defensive of a position you put yourself in. The further and further away you get from your opponent's side of the court, the more you're having to lift the ball just to get it up over the net to hopefully have it fall back down and be an effective shot on the other side of the court. As you get closer and closer and closer to the net, you start to be able to geometrically target your opponent's side directly. And so that's why they're avoiding you when you're up at the net. You might be a pretty good, natural net player, but also these opponents are smart enough to understand that if they have the choice between you at the net and your partner back at the baseline, they're smart enough to understand that if your partner hits the ball instead of you, they have a better chance of winning the points because you're in a position to end the points in your favor offensively much, much more easily than going all the way back to the baseline. So listen, by all means, there's a lot of 2-5, 3-0, and 3-5 doubles players, basically beginner up to intermediate, that win a ton of doubles matches just playing defensively. And if you're totally satisfied with that, and maybe that's your level of play, and you want to win more matches, then who am I to tell you what kind of tactics you should and shouldn't play? However, if you come to me and ask my advice as a coach, then my mindset is always long-term development, and I'm always pushing my students, my doubles playing students, towards being more comfortable transitioning up to the net and being more comfortable being proactive around the net instead of reactive. What you said in your question is very typical of a reactive mindset. You said, I don't get many balls at the net, meaning doubles players, lower level doubles players frequently have the attitude, well, all right, I'm gonna cover my side of the courts. I'm gonna make sure I don't get beat down my alley, and whatever comes to me, I've got that covered. I've got my side shut down. I don't have to worry about my side. If it goes to my partner's side, that's their ball. My side is my ball, and that's a very beginner type mindset as a doubles player. As the net player, rather than thinking my side and their side, you should be proactively seeking to cut off as many balls as humanly possible. I don't care whose side it's going to. You and your partner are a team. That means that you need to take responsibility for your team, understand that you are in an offensive position, and as such, do whatever is possible and whatever is necessary to inject yourself into the point wherever the ball happens to be and make things happen. That's what high-level doubles players do. So if you have a long-term development mindset as a student, the way I do as a coach, then that should be your focus, is to learn how to anticipate better at the net, is to learn how to be a better poacher, how to use fakes to bait your opponents into trying to hit different spots on the court. Long story short, your job as the net player should be to make your opponents as uncomfortable as possible. Your job as the net player should be to make your opponents second guess where they're about to hit the next shot as much as possible. And if instead you're just standing there, staying home, and just covering your side of the court, then of course you're not going to get hit many shots. And the only reason why, if you stay on your side at the net, your opponents would hit you a lot of balls is if you're bad at the net. That's the reality. The only reason why you should expect a lot of balls at the net, especially if your partner is back on the baseline, is if you're bad at the net. Otherwise, why in the world would they hit it to you? So you need to take a much more proactive approach. And there's a lot of different ways to do that. This is basically my philosophy in a nutshell, is helping my doubles students be that proactive player. And if you'd like some coaching on that topic, then we're going to put a link in the description down below, or you can go to doublesdomination.com, and there's a free coaching series for you there that'll take you through a lot of the necessary steps, a lot of necessary skills required to play that style of doubles. So go check that out. I hope it's a huge help to you. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments or questions about anything I just talked about, leave those right down below. And if you have any topics or questions that you'd like me to answer in a future episode of Ask Ian, leave those down below as well. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and click like. Thank you so much. Take care and good luck with your tennis.